Okay, take two. Hi, everyone. This is Melissa Kirkpatrick. I'm coming to you live at Third Eye Brewery, where we are going to be hosting an upcoming workshop called Is Your Dreamer Broken? We're going to wake up your dreamer with a vision board activity. We're so excited for this. And I just wanted to come in today and talk to the person who owns the Third Eye, Bonnie Collins, who is going to share a little bit about her journey. And I want to read something about her because I found her story to be in alignment with what we're creating and doing in our lives and what I'm creating around this workshop, and just got introduced to her. And I feel like she's just been like a long lost friend. We came and did a photo shoot together. So I love that we have beer in common.
We do. You have to sip.
Mhm. So if you're thinking that you can't put your dreams or desires out in the real world and achieve what it is you truly desire, well, you're wrong. Because this lady right here, she just has an incredible story. Sad, but good also. What I found about her was she's incredibly talented designer. She just got an opportunity with Cincinnati Refined to do an event, which she can mention about that. Also, she's a skilled entrepreneur. Look at this place. It's fabulous. And I think you started it during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got that part we want to talk about. She's also a determined philanthropist. Yes, there's a word. It was like entrepreneur. I had to learn how to spell that before I could use it. But anyways, but life has not always been dreams and rainbows. And that's part of the piece that I think is so touching. And being able to have her talk to us a little bit more about that, it was quite the opposite for her. And many of us, are challenged with things in our lives, but what she did about it and how she was daring to dream after everything in her life and what had happened that truly was a nightmare. That she goes beyond that, and she created this amazing foundation called Live Like Maya. So we're just going to take the notes away and we're just going to have casual conversation because I really want you to know this lady. I want you to be a part of this event if you can. Again, it's Third Eye Brewery down at Sharonville off of, is it Chester Road? Yeah, right there.
That's from the Sharonville Convention Center.
Yes, yes. So tell us, first of all, where do you want to start?
Well, I could start with Maya.
Yes.
Okay. So Maya was my daughter, is my daughter. She was 7.5 and she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, one of the most aggressive forms of leukemia known. We ended up at Cincinnati Children's. They told us immediately that she would have to have a bone marrow transplant. So she underwent her first bone marrow transplant in 2011. She unfortunately relapsed a couple of months later. We ended up back and we literally spent 8 months the first time. She went back for a second bone marrow transplant. We were in the hospital for another 6 months. She did well after the second one. She was in remission for 4 years and did fantastic. But unfortunately, she relapsed again 4 years later. We ended up taking her to St. Jude, where she underwent a third and final bone marrow transplant using her father's cells. It was a trial transplant. And unfortunately, she did pass away in 2017. She was cancer-free, ironically, when she passed away, but she just died from all the harsh treatments that she had endured through the course of her life. She died of lung failure, but there were lots of other issues from all the chemo that she had endured. So after Maya passed away, we really felt strongly that we wanted to keep her memory alive and we really wanted to do something in her honor. We still struggle with finding peace for her death, why it happened. We can't understand a reason for it. And so we felt like we wanted to make it purposeful, if that makes sense. Not really purposeful, but give it some meaning or some goodness, because it was so horrible. And so we started the Live Like Maya Foundation in 2019. And our mission is to raise money for local pediatric cancer families. We help them financially. We knew so many people who had lost their houses and their cars, and lost their jobs just trying to keep their children alive. And when we were at St. Jude, it was such an amazing hospital because everything's completely paid for by donors. So, they flew us out there, they put us in a fully furnished apartment, everything was completely free. We never saw, and I always tell everybody, when we were at Children's, both her bone marrow transplants were $1 million. We actually received bills for $1 million.
Wow.
And thank goodness my husband has good, benefits. but it still cost us a lot.
Yeah.
When we were
Hence the nightmare continues.
yeah.
When you get those in the mail.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, it was bad. So, but when we were at St. Jude, we never saw a bill. They completely paid for everything. Day in the ICU is $40,000, and she was in the ICU for weeks. Again, we never saw a bill. So that said, when we came home, we don't have a St. Jude here, and Cincinnati Children's is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but it's not run completely by donors, right? So we thought, well, you know what? Let's fill in the gaps here in Cincinnati the best we can. Help these families stay afloat. So that's our mission, along with we have a kindness. Maya loves to do random acts of kindness. So we have a little kindness clause in our mission. And we love to, we have Maya kindness cards that we love to spread. And we ask people to do an act of kindness and pay it forward with the card. And our hope is that the cards will ripple, have like a rippling effect.
Yeah.
And we also fund research. We actually wrote our first grant this year for $50,000 to a researcher who's doing some really amazing things in the realm of pediatric cancer. So that was exciting to be able to.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So yeah. And so during all of this, my husband loved to brew beer, and he would brew in the basement with his brother. And then they had some friends join in, and Maya would end up sick, and she'd go back in the hospital, and he'd have to put it on pause. And when she kept saying, I want to open a brewery. And I was like, no, we're never going to do that. We're going to get divorced. It'll never happen. And then
another big dream.
Yeah. And when she passed away, he said, you know what, life is short, and this is my dream, and I couldn't say no to that. So he partnered up. He's got 5 partners, and they opened Third Eye Brewing Company, which is where we are right now. And they make amazing beer. We have some amazing brewers. We've won a lot of awards, and we have one beer here. It's called Higher Purpose, and it is a milk stout. And proceeds of Higher Purpose all year go to Live Like Maya Foundation, and it won a gold 2 years ago in the worldwide beer competition. So it is the #1 milk stout in the world. Yeah,
oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. So what I hear in all of this, I mean, the nightmare obviously is there, but what is on the other side of it? And, oftentimes our clarity is not there, but if you just set things in motion, like her husband brewing beer way before all this happened, it comes up to this. And, I love the concept of Third Eye Brewery because of doing the vision board. We're talking about the third eye and then the names that you have on your drafts that you make and stuff like that. So definitely come visit, because I think, you're going to find this place to be really amazing. The energy is really good here, and the purpose behind it, just now that you know the story of it. But I want you here on November the 10th, because this is the kind of things that when you're alone, so to speak, feeling like you can't see past what's in front of you, this is where having those dreams, having those visions, having those goals can really come to life. And it's just giving yourself permission to take time out and really get clear on what it is. You don't have to have it all figured out. I'm sure Bonnie didn't have everything figured out, and you're still figuring things out along the way, as I did when I owned those golf courses. Like we're constantly growing and expanding. And if you remember my drive path, the drive, desire, receive, implement, visualize, evolve, it's a constant. It's every day that you're waking up. Be excited to get out of bed, to work on what it is that you want next in your life, or be in the place. I mean, by meeting Bonnie through Amy Scalia, through the work I've done with her, was just perfect, because I'm like, I want to do this. I want to offer people this vision board. I did a lot of them virtually through COVID and stuff, but I felt like now we're ready for in person. So the group of us together is going to make a really incredible experience. And like I said, your tickets are $40. We're going to buy your first drink. We're going to give proceeds to the foundation. We're also going to provide all your supplies to actually leave here with your vision board. You're going to learn about using the vision boards and just the interaction of the people that are going to be a part of this big event. You also can purchase food while you're here too. They have some really good menu items that can go to their website and check out their menu. But so remember that November 10th, we'll put the link to ticket sales for below. We're almost sold out. So that's pretty exciting too. For sure. So back to you, Bonnie. How old was your daughter?
So she was diagnosed at 7.5, and she passed away at 14. Yeah.
So 7 years of this.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And if you know someone, we want them to check that out, right? You have the website, you have the
livelikemaya.org is the website, and we're on social media. We're Facebook Live Like Maya and Instagram Live Like Maya. So, and it's MAYA, Live Like Maya. But, our brewery, we have a motto, it's hanging behind us. You can't see it here, but it's live life, do good, drink beer. And, we really do live that motto here at Third Eye. We love to host fundraisers, not just for the nonprofit, which we do quite a bit, but we, love to host fundraisers for other organizations, and just, pay it forward throughout the community because they've been so good to us. We say that, my favorite phrase, who I stole it from somebody else, so I can't claim it as mine, but beauty from the ashes. There's been so much beauty that's come from so much tragedy. We've met the most amazing people like you, yourself, Amy Scalia, people who just are angels. There's just angels all around us that, I would want Maya back, of course, in a heartbeat, but the fact that so much beauty has come from it just brings us a lot of peace.
Yeah, absolutely. And those of you that's followed my journey, I've been on quite the roller coaster ride myself, and recently some health things with my husband. But I feel when knowledge is power, when we know more about things, when we get engaged with other people, take the time to network, take the time to socialize, just ask if you're at dinner sometime and run into someone, say, what do you do? Like, it's amazing when you ask that simple question, what do you do?
Yeah.
And how you can really find
open up.
Yeah.
And you learn so much.
Yeah. And the interesting thing too, my vision board has always had St. Jude's on there as one of the places that I would always want to contribute to, because the commercials really tear at your heart. We've not had pediatric cancers, but we've had all the other cancers, so it's just like that, and breast cancer. So it's I have Wings as a organization I met years ago too. Some of my mom was nominated in that, but it's if we don't have the conversations, if we don't engage with people, we never know these things.
And it's amazing the connections you find. I'll just meet somebody at the brewery, and we'll just start talking about something random, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, you do this, you do that, I know that person, that person. There's so many connections. If you just reach out to other people and start talking to them, and making those connections,
that big snowball effect that we all want. So we encourage you to definitely start living your life in that intention of, who can I serve, how can I bring value, who needs to know me, who needs to see me, who needs to who can I help, who can I support, because that's really the community piece I think a lot of us miss out on, because we are always thinking about our own stuff. And that's what the vision board can help you start really tapping into, that on how you can really align with more purpose and passion for your life, not only for what you want. I mean, it's nothing wrong to want the boat, the car, the house, the kids, the family, but also just having that internal piece of, how can I support others?
And I think it, for me, it brings us so much peace to be able to give back and to give to others. I don't know. There's just something about it that, that's why I get almost manic about it. Like, I just want to do this and do that and do so much, because it soothes my soul, and I'm not the type to kind of roll into a fetal position and, be sad. I mean, I am sad.
You have days like that, right?
Believe me, I have days like that. But for me to get up and just keep moving and keep doing good, and helping others, I think it's therapeutic.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think it is. And keeping her memory alive. You have her button here, which is adorable.
I have a picture of it, which I forgot to bring.
Yeah.
That's my girl. If you can see, it's kind of glaring.
Yeah.
There she is. So yeah, I mean, we talk about her everywhere we go. We love it when people ask about her. And she, we say she sprinkles her pixie dust on us. Like, everywhere we go, we just meet amazing people in our path, and amazing things happen. And I really do believe it's from her. And I think she's made this brewery successful. I mean, I think we have award-winning brewers. We have an amazing chef, and a lot of it has been serendipity, the way we've come across these people. And I truly believe it's like Maya doing her work.
Yes. And that's it. Part of that is that belief system in the magic. So, beyond the vision board, which I have a course that's coming up after that, after this one on the 10th, that starts the 14th. That's exactly what we're talking about. How do you keep that magic alive? How do you get those winks from the universe that tells you that you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing? Because that's what we sometimes forget, is that we're creating our life by design. You do have permission to do that. As much as you think that you're not in control, you're in more control than you think you are. But it's that magic, the pixie dust. I love that, of knowing that it's just being sprinkled upon you because you set the intention. I talk about the cosmic kitchen, which again, the brewery, we have a chef, like all these serendipities. You put your order into the cosmic kitchen, and you just keep staying in action. You don't run in the kitchen and go, are you making it the way I wanted? Are you giving me what I want? You get to be able to say, this is what I would like to have, or something better, because that can happen which is truly what I think you're evolving in this experience with the brewery.
Oh, yeah.
And doing it in 2020, how does that even happen?
Yeah, it was crazy. But, I always say everybody drinks beer even throughout a pandemic. So that was,
Yeah.
but we have good beer. So that was helpful.
Yeah.
And, we just learned to adapt. We just started doing carry out and just different things that I think everybody kind of learned to adapt at that time. So, and now we're building a second brewery in Hamilton, a really big one on Route 4. So that's exciting. That's going to open in spring.
More pixie dust.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. So what does it take for a woman like yourself to be able to, like I said, get up every day, to be excited, have trouble falling asleep at night, right? So what is that internal core that, I mean, I know Maya, you mentioned, but there's more to this Bonnie than the brewery and the foundation.
No, I just think that for me, giving back, and I get so excited when I know, oh, we're going to have a fundraiser and who's going to come and what's going to happen and how much money are we going to raise and what am I going to do with that money? Who am I going to give it to? And are we going to do research? Are we going to do families? And we have a lot of things right now in the works. We're helping a couple families right now. So I can't wait for that. And I don't know, it just keeps me totally motivated and excited and just to know where the next thing is coming. And I'll be honest, I'm not much of a planner. I had somebody ask me just like a couple weeks ago, what's your 5-year plan? And I'm like, that's a good question. Never really thought about a 5-year plan.
Right.
So, I mean, I need to be better about that. I'm just kind of like, I go with the flow. And I really do feel like, Maya's like, I'm riding her. She's kind of showing me the way and making things fall into place. And putting me in situations that make things work. Miami Valley Gaming reached out to me out of the blue, and a friend told her she runs the community division or the give back division of the Miami Valley Gaming, and they do a big fundraiser every quarter. And she reached out and said, "We want to do one for Live Like Maya." And it was just like a friend who had talked about us and what we're doing. So things like that. And then now I've got a new person, and I love her. Her name's Laura Lobar. She's amazing. And, it's exciting. Now I know her and her network. So it's just, and I do think though, it's important to not sit back and wait for things to happen. I think it is important to be proactive, whether you're doing social media or, I don't know, events, just get out there, go to events, talk to people, network, share your business card, talk about what you're doing. I do think that's important. It's hard for some people. It's hard for me. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to anybody. But I think it's important to kind of try to break out of that and break out of your box a little bit and be proactive.
So I love it. She's kind of a shoot from the hip kind of girl like I am. That 5-year plan can be overwhelming, but it's just every day taking that inspired action, knowing that you're doing something good. And one of the things about the networking and getting yourself out there, what I had to learn years ago was it's not about me always going to the network to collect. Sometimes it's about me just showing up and being present because someone there may need something from me to have or collect or to hear. And even a hug can go so far.
Yeah.
So that's, the encouragement that if you're someone that feels like you're not doing enough, maybe you're not. And it's really about just take that small step, which one of my clients always talks about. That first small change is deciding, what do I do? Maybe I get my calendar together with upcoming events, such as the vision board class that's going to be happening here, just so you can really spark that flame and, really get or fan the flame so that you can really get moving, living purposeful, because that's the thing. If we get too comfortable, life passes us by. But when we can engage in a way that really fuels you, like you've expressed, like you can't wait for the next thing. Then she's out looking for the next thing. And sometimes it comes easy, sometimes it comes with a little bit of challenges, but you've dealt with all of it. You've dealt with a lot. So we're appreciative for you and for letting us have this space.
For you and this event. I'm excited. I think it's going to help me with my 5-year plan.
Yes. That's it. So she'll talk more about it at the event. We'll talk about other things at the event as well. But right now we'll just put the link below. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to have this opportunity. But I just wanted you guys to meet the face behind the brewery. Actually, it's her husband, but now we know. But
he can tell you like it's my brewery. I'm like, you by default. So.
That's right. So when we can, see him, maybe he might make an appearance. But it's just out of that situation. And a lot of you that follow me, my mantra is always all is well. Everything's working out to my highest and best good. Out of any situation, good will come. Might have to look for it. I am safe. And that truly is the people that I find live with so much more passion and can overcome those bigger challenges and nightmares to really fuel their life in a different way than they ever thought possible. And that's what we want to offer to you. And again, even if you get to come by just to experience the food and the drinks another time, we encourage you to do that. But for now, we're just gonna say we'll see you hopefully on the 10th. Thank you.
Yay.
And all is well. Have an amazing rest of your day. Again, thank you, Bonnie.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers. And then this is fun.
I didn't even slide. So can I share that then on my